Happy Monday, March 23rd, ladies and gentlemen. Today's YouTube video is going to show you how to keep going with our week's worth of work. As of right now, which is 4:31 p.m., we actually have two posts. We have today's post and tomorrow's post. Like I said before, we're going to be doing multiple days' work. For example, we're just going to show you period 4 today, but as you can see, you've got this assignment. Now, if you cannot get your work because you don't have the access to Clever as of yet, remember, if you scroll down, now all classes are the same here. That's the slides, chapter 15, PDF, right here. Okay. This is the taken, got it, keep going, happy fun time. Scroll all the way down, not the best quality, but that's what happens when you have to make a PDF with your phone. All right, and we're actually going to get into section 15.3, and if you notice, I must have forgotten 15.3, so I apologize for that part, but I'm going to show you how to get into there through Clever as well for the vocab, and then we're continuing with different types of bad things or harmful things to humans. That's what the chapter 15 is all about. If you did the work from last week, you know that they talked about viruses, and we did some work on the COVID-19, which is super relevant right now, but it is also extremely important to understand more than just what the news is providing you, because they're talking about what's going on current events. We're trying to learn from a scientific side anyway. All right, so again, if you need it, here it is. Moving on up in the world. Okay, Monday's assignment. Read chapter section 15.3, define 15.3 key terms, complete 15.3 assessment questions. That's your assignment for today. Hopefully you have done it already or will be doing it soon. And then tomorrow, this is going to be your assignment. Let me just click on it real quick before we get into it, and I'll come back. Go to my instructions here. You have 2 YouTube videos to watch. We're actually going to watch them together. So if you're struggling to use all this system, I'm going to kind of give you an overview, and we're going to watch them together as if we were in class, and then we're going to have you write a 3-paragraph response to these videos. All right? I'll talk about what I want. Going back. All right, so first off, to get onto Clever, do everything you need to, right? You should all know how to do Clever by now. You should all know how to be able to get onto it through the homepage, right? This is the homepage. Get to the NGL sync. You click that. That sends you here. You probably only have one book, and if you do, it's going to look like this. You click there, launch course. It's going to take you here. All right, from here, we're just going to go right into it. Unit 5, because that's what Chapter 15's in. Chapter 15, click down here. All right. And by the way, any given time you want to pause this video to help you better understand it would be a great idea, because it's going to make sense in the future. Just pause it when you're ready. All right. You click Readings. Okay. And now we've got all of 15. We've already done this work. We've done this work. We've done this work. 15.3 today. Go in here. It will take you, I've already been here, so it took me to the assessment. It's going to take you to start off right here. Okay, this is what you should pop in as soon as you do it. Your first time entering 15.3 anyway. So, good. Moving on, click to the right. All right, here's the key terms. This is what I'm going to do for those of you who are struggling to get the vocab and whatnot. I'm going to highlight and click all 4 of these terms for you. So when the term for toxic chemical, mutagen, teratogen, and carcinogen are up, just pause the video and write down the words. All right, so first one here. Okay, mutagen. Good. Excellent. And carcinogen. All right. So if you needed it or were struggling, hopefully that helps. If you're probably watching this device on your phone, that was still probably too small unless you kind of zoom in, and it might be difficult. If you have any of those questions, again, always email me. All right. So, birth defects, cancers, a bunch of this not so good stuff, right? So, we're leaving that as is. You can read this on your own. I'm not going to have you read what I'm writing. So, that is what it is. Okay. Immune system, nervous system, mercury, not great, obviously, okay? I'm not going to try to teach you this chapter right now. That's not the purpose of this video. All right? You should be able to read this. You should be able to take something away from this, okay? The thing I do want to focus on, plastics, because that's what tomorrow's assignment's on, Tuesday, March 24th. The assignment's on BPA. Bisphenol A, or BPA as it's commonly called, is an agent, or it's a compound that's used in plastics, specifically the clear plastics that are used to carry your food. Turns out it's linked to a lot of bad things, and we're drinking and eating out of it. All right, so I mean, definitely one considering in the not good section. All right. So BPA free, again, you could just type in BPA free just because, so, and look, it's just everywhere. There's just all these different things, BPA free. Let's just kind of go water bottles, right, images, and they're like, oh, BPA free, everything's BPA free, look at me, right? That's like a selling point now in a lot of these things. It's not BPA free is a lot of your plastic beverages that you get when you get those bevs when you're coming back from Lucille's, right? All of those beverages you've got, those regular plastics, are not BPA free. There's issues with that. You know what is BPA free? That's right, the Hydro Flask. Anyway, moving on. There. Okay, so when we're going to do this, I'm going to show, now this is for tomorrow, or if you're watching this on Tuesday, today, or if you're doing this late and it's like Friday and you still haven't watched it, then for Tuesday. Instructions look like this. Let's watch these videos together. I promise that they're not uplifting.
There's been a lot of buzz about dubious chemicals in the environment that might contribute to some pretty frightening stuff like obesity, breast cancer, thyroid issues, and they seem to lurk everywhere. In pesticides, cosmetics, and especially plastic packaging. In light of this, it's understandable to start panicking. But before you do, let's hear what molecular biologist Bruce Bloomberg has to say on the subject. He's been studying the link between synthetic chemicals and obesity for around 15 years. So he might be able to give us a better idea of what's really going on and what to do about it. Bad news is, Bloomberg confirmed that yep, we're surrounded by these chemicals. One of the most well-known is BPA, or bisphenol A, which shows up in water bottles, cans, milk cartons, and more.
You get them from thermal paper receipts. Like I have these receipts from a recent trip. All of these things are coated with bisphenol A. And it goes right into your skin.
That's fun.
BPA has been making headlines for years about whether or not it's harming us. And while FDA-funded and independent studies have conflicting conclusions,
Why would the FDA potentially be, oh, it's safe, but also not allow it for infant and toddler stuff? It's a thought.
bigger heart of the issue is this. BPA is hard to get away from because it's a key building block in the tough, clear, flexible plastic called polycarbonate. And that proximity to food is what concerns scientists like Bloomberg.
You don't want to store food in plastics because some fraction of those plastics will leach into your food.
The BPA molecules that make up plastic are bound together by what's called an ester bond, which is extremely sensitive to heat. So, when you heat up your food in plastic, that heat breaks some of the bonds, releasing the chemicals into your food. A survey by the CDC of 2,517 people estimated that over 90% of Americans have detectable levels of BPA in their urine. And BPA isn't alone. Phthalates, which make plastic flexible, can also leach into food when heated. And reviews of hundreds of studies have linked BPA and phthalates to heart disease, obesity, and type 2 diabetes. Not to mention, a 2015 review linked phthalates with impaired neurological development in children, which in 2018 prompted the American Academy of Pediatrics to announce that families should avoid plastic food containers entirely. And other studies on animals like mice and monkeys have shown that these chemicals can lead to problems in the lungs, brains, and reproductive organs. This is about the time someone like me would probably panic. But there are ways you can avoid these chemicals. Bloomberg suggests it's best to just stick to heating your food in anything but plastic. Now, quick aside, BPA-free plastic containers aren't the answer, because research suggests that BPS and BPF, the most common replacements for BPA, might have similar effects on your body. Instead, opt for replacements like ceramic or glass containers.
You have to do the best you can, and it makes sense to me to do the things that give you the most return for the least effort.
And here's the best part. Once you reduce exposure, those chemicals slowly leave your body. As Bloomberg says, they're stored in fat cells, which eventually die and ultimately leave your system.
Don't stress about it, right? Do your best and make conscious choices to improve things.
Well, I guess the good news is that you could change and be okay-ish now. But let's be honest right now with yourselves. How many of you heat up food in plastic? Also, how many of you drink water out of those plastic water bottles that probably have been transported in a truck, really hot temperatures or really cold temperatures? By the way, this also has been found in when people would like partially freeze their water bottles, like their Poland Spring bottles or whatever, and then they thaw them out, that the freezing also released BPA so that you ingested more of it that way. So basically plastic like that in extreme heat and apparently in extreme cold equals you eat more plastic without you knowing it. Or not the plastic, but the BPA and other things like that. This one's informationally good, also not uplifting.
Microwaving food in plastic containers can kill you.
Most of the plastic containers contain extremely harmful hormonal disruptors, including phthalates and bisphenol A, also known as BPA.
The deadly toxin BPA has been employed in a variety of disorders and diseases, including cancer, depression, infertility, and autism.
Phthalates have been linked with the development of type 2 diabetes, obesity, asthma, birth defects, etc.
Besides BPA and phthalates, plastic containers, cups, dishes, spoons, etc. also contain several other potentially harmful chemicals that easily leak into food items.
It is always a good idea to use microwave-safe materials such as glass for your kitchen requirements.
If you wish to live a long and healthy life, please avoid using plastic items in your kitchen and elsewhere. On a related note, throw away those toxic styrofoam cups as well, urgently.
Subscribe to Research Yogi for more such videos. Make sure you check out the links in the description below. Share this video with family and friends today.
Have a fantastic and healthy day.
Okay, so again, this one's even more dramatic, I would say. But But I think the bottom line is you should not be using plastic to reheat your meals. That's one of the big things we do, especially since we're a microwave nation at this point. Do not use your plastic containers, okay? You shouldn't even store it in the fridge. Like, you really should be just going glass, metal, ceramics, all right? That's what you should be doing. We have mostly switched over even at my house, but I know that it's difficult. It was a struggle when we did this probably about 4 or 5 years ago. So just small steps to leave a better, healthier life. Perfect example right now, we're all remote learning because of something that we did not predict. People had predicted that will eventually happen. They didn't know when. This is one thing that we have signs of being potentially really harmful to a lot of humans in the future. It's not a big step to just kind of move on from these types of plastics. Not plastic completely, but when it comes to food. Okay? All right, so what does that mean for you now? So when you go into your assignment, you are to write a 3-paragraph response to these videos. Okay? I'm looking for you. So again, what yours will see, you will see over in this corner, add create, right? If you create one, it'll automatically pop up with the Tuesday, March 24th and your name on it. So it's easy for me to grade. I want you to write a 3-paragraph response just describing what this is and maybe what steps you should take. Just tell me a story about what you just saw and how you plan on changing. 3 paragraphs, get me the information. I'm not looking for anything like perfect. I don't want you to give me this beautiful summary, okay, that is a page and a half long. I just give me the information, showed me that you did it. This is a grade. It's already in gradebook. It's going to count for you. I believe I made this a summative assessment. Formative assessment, but I'll double check that. But this is graded, so please do it. Okay. If you are struggling with Google Classroom, I know that on Tuesday they're handing out supplies. I think Chromebooks to people. If that's an issue and you're going to get it, then that's fine. If you're still struggling for whatever the reason is, write it on paper and pencil. Email, and if you're in a class with myself and Miss Glass, then email both of us. I want both of us on the email so that we can get it because we're doing this together, she and I. All right? And if you're in my period 2 or my period 7 and it's just me at this point, email me the picture of your work so that I can read it. Don't like stand far back and I've gotten someone like, here's my work, but I can't read it, right? Even if it's like 2 pictures, like half page, that's fine. I need to see your work. I need to know that you're doing it so I can plug a grade in. I'm not looking to fail anybody. I'm not looking to give anyone D's. All right? You got to do some work. You're going to get bored really soon. It's going to be rainy all week anyway, it seems like, unfortunately. So I know that it's a little frustrating at times. I know that all of your teachers are asking you to do all this work. But if you can just do the 3 paragraphs, get it done, send it in, and you'll start seeing your grades pick up, okay? And then when that happens, we'll start doing a little more of these videos or like work like this where it can be easily done and you'll be set up for success, all right? Because it is, at this point, likely we're going into officially, it's not official yet. I'm expected to write plans for the week after spring break. Not saying anything for sure, but I'm preparing for that week. So I don't see when this is going to stop. So make sure you're doing your part to learn and get better because at some point this is going to end and you got to be ready to be a student again and kick schools behind. All right. So any questions, email me, let me know how you did. And otherwise, enjoy your remote learning. See ya.